Football betting and football trading are two very different things. In this video I'm going to highlight the differences between betting and trading and show you how much money you're likely to make from each. Most people are familiar with the concept of football betting. You place money on a team to win on a bookmaker and they pay you out profit if that team goes on to win. However, they keep your entire stake if the team fails to win. Football trading is a little bit more obscure than football betting and can be a little bit confusing to understand at first. In essence, football trading is placing two bets on the same selection, a back bet and a lay bet, and profiting from the game regardless of the outcome of the match. Let's try to differentiate the two by taking a look at an example. Traditional sports betting is very black and white. You place a back bet on the selection before the kickoff and let that run throughout the duration of the game. If you place a back bet on the under 2.5 goal market, you will only profit if there is under 2.5 goals in the game. However, you'll get a big loss, your entire stake in fact, if the bet fails to come in. So importantly, football betting is outcome dependent. You need the game to finish a certain way in order for you to make money. Trading is quite different. A successful trade involves placing a back bet and a lay bet on the same selection and profiting regardless of how many goals are scored in the match. If you place a back bet on the exchange in the under 2.5 goals market, you will then place a lay bet on the under 2.5 goals market after so many minutes into the game. This gives you, in essence, a free bet on that selection. So if the game finishes with under 2.5 goals, you will profit and won't lose a penny if there are over 2.5 goals. From this position, you will do what is called hedging and spread your entire profit across all outcomes, so you'll be guaranteed a profit regardless of the number of goals in the match, whether that be under or over 2.5. This makes football trading not result dependent. As a trader, you do not care about the overall result of the game, you're only interested in brief segments of the match, say the opening 20 minutes or the final 15 minutes of the game. But crucially, the final result really doesn't matter. You can profit from the under 2.5 goals market when there ends up being 3 or more goals in the game. Unlike when you're football betting, there is only a small portion of your stake ever at risk when you're football trading. You will never lose this entire stake because when you're trading you have clearly defined entry and exit points, so you're only exposed for a short period of time, and after that time is elapsed you will edge out for a profit or a loss, regardless of what is happening in the game itself. This tends to result in either a relatively small win or a relatively small loss. And when I say relatively small, I mean relatively compared to the overall risk and reward if you was just doing a traditional football bet. This is the main difference between football betting and football trading. Ultimately, when football trading, you are completely impartial to the result of the game. Yes, you have a vested interest of small segments of the game, where you think certain things are more likely to occur than others. But you are never sat hoping and willing a team on to win a game, which you tend to need to happen for sports betting. I might be trying to dig this point into the ground, but I can't stress how important this is enough. Because so often, when I speak to people about sports trading, they find it difficult to grasp the concept of placing bets on events that you think might not actually occur by the end of the game, but you know you have a good chance of making profit from it during the game itself. Because you aren't betting on the final outcome of the game when football trading, you tend to see less variance in your results. When football betting, your profit and loss graph tends to look something like this, where it goes loss, 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 and then you get a big win, and it goes loss, 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 loss again, and then you get another big win. And ultimately, to be a successful bettor, the overall trend in this direction needs to be positive. The bigger wins need to cover for your smaller losses. A losing profit and loss graph for a bettor would look something like this. Again, it's a similar pattern, but going in a downwards direction because their winning bets aren't big enough to cover their losing bets. Then if you look at a typical profit and loss graph, you'd expect to see, when football trading on Betfair, you see there is less variance in the results. There will still be wins and losses of course, but you'd expect to see a much smoother upward direction trend, and a losing trader's graph will be a much smoother downwards direction trend. This isn't to say either betting or trading is better than the other, this is just to say that they are different things, and you'd expect to see different profit and losses from each football betting and football trading. There is a critical point I would like to make about trading here. When trading, poor psychology can easily creep in. Sometimes when trading, you get things wrong and the market begins to go against you. The correct thing to do here is edge out for the market for a loss and move on to the next trade. A trader experiencing poor psychology will tend to not cash out of this position and let it continue to run against them. This action is turning a bad trade into a bet. This is a very bad thing to do and it will make you lose money. It's important to remember that trading is trading and betting is betting. The two should be separate and should be kept away from each other. When you start turning losing trade into outright bets, your profit and loss graph will tend to start looking something like this. So I cannot stress enough, please avoid turning losing trades into bets. I also tend to see that there's a different mindset between football bettors and football traders. I'm not here talking about the professional gamblers who I value betting, I'm just talking about the regular football bettor who will place bets at the weekend. A football bettor is trying to win bets every single time they place a bet. And when they place a bet and it doesn't come in, they start to feel bad about themselves. This is a completely wrong way to look at things. You should never be placing bets because you think they're certain to happen, and you should never judge your results on a bet by bet basis. Instead, you should be looking to place bets that are more probable than the odds suggest they are. This is known as value betting. Valuable bets aren't going to win every single time, but long term a valuable bet is a profitable bet. A very good valuable bet could lose 10 times in a row and still be worth placing if you have bet at odds of 20 to 1 when the true odds should be around 10 to 1. Long term, placing this bet would pay off. Traders also don't feel good when they lose, of course, but they seem to more easily rationalise the fact that each individual trade doesn't matter. It's more about the long-term journey and placing profitable trades overall. They'll think that, although this trade didn't pay off this time, football trading and football betting can be highly variable, and I believe the trade was positive in expected value and will make me money in the long run. One of the biggest differences between football betting and football trading is the different platforms that you tend to place the bets on. Football betting is traditionally performed on a bookmaker, whereas football trading can only be performed on a betting exchange. Bookmakers are fairly well-known sites like Sky Bet, Bet365, William Hill, Ladbrokes, and the most common betting exchange is called Betfair, although Betfair also have a sportsbook as well to make things confusing. The difference between a bookmaker and an exchange is, a bookmaker is a company. They are the company that are taking your bets. If your bet wins, they pay you out in profit. So the only way for them to make money is for you to have losing bets. A betting exchange is a place where normal people like you and me go on and place bets against each other. One of us two wins and Betfair make money by taking a small commission off the winning trade only. So if you bet against me and you won, I would pay no commission, but you would pay a small commission. This is a key difference between the two platforms, because when you look at the incentives of these two business models, bookmakers are highly incentivized for you to lose money, as that's the only way they can earn money, and they obviously need money to survive as a business. A betting exchange's business incentive is to have as many people possible on the betting exchange. They have no ulterior motive whether you win or lose or not, because as there's always one person winning and one person paying commission, it doesn't matter if that's you paying commission or the other person paying the commission. They're always going to be making money. This difference in incentives causes bookmakers to do everything they can to stop winning bettors. This includes banning people who are profitable bettors and also in general offering bad odds to everybody, which gives them a long-term edge over you. So I think it's pretty clear that a betting exchange is superior to a bookmaker. Football traders can only place their bets in a betting exchange because they need to place both back bets and lay bets. It's possible for a football bettor to place bets in a betting exchange, and it's something that's going to give you more value in the long term. However, traditionally speaking, most football bettors are placing their bets on bookmakers, even though they're getting significantly worse odds in the long run. To summarise, football betting is placing an outright bet that something will occur for a big profit. Yes, you'll have a big win if the bet comes in, but you'll also have a big loss if the bet doesn't come in. Football trading is placing both back bets and lay bets in the market and being in the game for only a short period of time, rather than the full game, and only risking a fraction of their total stake, but albeit for a smaller win as well. Football betting is very outcome dependent. You need football matches to finish certain ways to make money. Football trading obviously isn't outcome dependent. You're looking to make money regardless of how the result ends up. The result completely doesn't matter. This video isn't to say that either betting or trading is better than the other. This is just to highlight the differences between the two and the importance of not combining the two. Keep betting separate from trading and trading separate from betting. Here is a video I think you'll enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions down below and I'll see you on the next one.